Good evening and welcome to the Strawberry Patch. We're back again for this Spring Strawberry Festival, which will be May 11th through the 19th. And I have a special guest with me tonight. Most people know this gentleman. He's also a past president, Rob Smith. And if you want to have a concession or a vendor booth anywhere, this is the gentleman you need to talk to. I also want to thank very much our sponsor, and it's for the third or fourth year, I believe. Tennerton Auto, right here in Tennerton, is our sponsor for the Strawberry Patches. We're going to be doing them each week, and they're going to air at the first airing will be on Wednesday evening at 6:30, and you might see them pop up at various times throughout now till festival time. Tennerton Auto is owned by Joe Jeffries, and they do towing and auto repair. And if you have something that you'd like to have done to your vehicle, or you need an estimate, you need to have your inspection for your vehicle, give them a call at 304-472-2174, and that's Tennerton Auto. Okay, Rob, let's get to it. We're going to have a festival.
Well, they say we are.
Sometimes we do it by the seat of our pants,
Absolutely.
But it always works out.
Absolutely.
Somebody will say, "Are you having a festival?" I said, "Yes." "Are you going to be ready?" Doesn't matter. It's going to happen anyway.
Absolutely. It won't wait for us.
I do want to, first of all, let the folks know that this is a special weekend coming up for April the 13th. That's Saturday.
Right.
April the 14th is our pageant. It's going to be on a Sunday for the Teen and the Queen pageant. Joyce Green is the chairman of that. And it will be held at the Upshur County High School. And the doors open at 3:30. I believe it starts at 4. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
So we're going to have some special announcements that evening. You'll want to come and see who our new queen is going to be, who our new teen is going to be. You'll also find out who our Strawberry King is, who the sweepstakes winner is, and the Spirit Award.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a big evening for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one more event in April, and that's the golf tournament. It's going to be held at both golf courses here in town, Country Club. It begins over at Riverbend, I believe. Steve Holland is in charge of that, and he would love to have some teams. They're going to have some nice giveaways. Do they still do the hole-in-one?
I'm not quite sure this year whether they are. I would assume that they will.
Usually the hole-in-one, if you make that, you can win a car.
Absolutely.
So there's some special awards, and they'll have a special meal. First 9 holes are at Riverbend, and I believe it tees off at noon. But you can find out, if you have any questions about the festival and you need to talk to any of these different folks that are doing various events, you can always call 472-9036. And of course, that's the West Virginia number, 1-304-472-9036. When you talk with that answering machine, if there isn't anybody at the other end, you leave your name and your phone number, a short message, and if you know what event it is you're looking for and want information about, you can put that on the message as well. Somebody will return your call. If not, you can get a call, or I could get a call. We'd make sure they got answered, wouldn't we?
Well, I'd like to think so.
Okay, so let's start out. We always need sponsors. We do have some things sponsored, but if we could get every event sponsored, that would make it possible for us to have a lot of different events for the Strawberry Festival. And our sponsorship person for that is Jody Light, and she will take calls daytime 304-472-3033. Jody will tell you what is available for sponsorship and how much it costs. Sometimes you can do 2 or 3 businesses that sort of work together to do an event. We're always looking for parade sponsors. Parades are not cheap.
Oh, no. I was surprised.
So we're talking about several thousands of dollars to bring some of these folks in. I'm thinking everybody asked me about the group from France, and I think it was what, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 that it cost to bring them in.
I believe it was.
So they won't be here this year, but we'll hope maybe to have them back another year. I think we have a group coming from the Bahamas.
Right.
Maybe one from Mexico. We have some really unique things coming for the parade. So the Grand Feature Parade, I think, will be really good. And the Horse and Carriage Parade is going to be back this year, bigger and better. It will be May the 11th. So you want to put that on your calendar. And I think in connection with the Horse and Carriage Parade at 5 o'clock, that day down on Main Street, we'll have open case performances. If you like to perform for the public, I can't give you money, but if you will call me for 472-2191, if you have two or three that like to play in a band and you would like to entertain on Main Street, we will give you a sign to put in your guitar case or whatever. And if people like you, they can give you a donation and you can take that home with you. Also, we have 5 CEO clubs that are going to be coming out to sell their homemade items and foods and stuff along Main Street. So that's all going on May the 11th. And the Wild West is coming back. Had you heard that?
No, I haven't.
We're getting more this year. Stagecoach rides, horse and buggy rides, and we're going to have a shoot 'em out and all kinds of things in the Jawbone Park area. And we'll give you more information on that. But that's for May the 11th, and the evening tops off with the Queen's Ball at the Moose. Rick Kay and the All Nighters, is that
Yes.
correct? Don't know a whole lot of information about that, but we'll be putting something out very soon. I think they're having a big meeting on Thursday night, so you'll see something in the paper probably next week about that.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time all the way up through the festival, so there's something going on about every day. And I know you work with the carnival,
Right.
and Gamble's Amusements is coming back.
Uh-huh.
I've had a lot of people ask me, where is the carnival going to be?
Well, the carnival is going to be the same place it was last year.
Great.
Of course, we have some trees planted where we had the bumper cars last year, so I don't know. I haven't really talked to Shane Turner to sit down and go through everything to see exactly where we're going to put. But I anticipate that we have every ride that we had last year and every event or every game and everything that we had last year.
I heard nothing but good comments about the setup. It just made a real festive area all the way down Main Street. You had the little kids with their carnival rides right there close to where you could see them on Main Street.
Right.
And I think concessionaires were on Spring. Is that where they're
right,
going to be?
They were down behind the Chinese restaurant in parking lot A, I believe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, wasn't the carnival, didn't they have some
yes,
concessions?
they were all the way down Spring Street to the post office.
Okay, so is that going to happen again?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason being, my main goal was to keep their vendors away from our vendors, so everybody leaves here with a pocket full of money and happy. Well, we had some problems with the fire marshal and just fire routes and just everything. There wasn't an adequate space for the traffic, so we had to move them up there. And that's the way this works. You know, we have everything planned out, but sometimes it goes haywire, and we've got to go by the seat of our pants and just make things happen.
Well, people don't always realize you don't just have festival rules. You've got city rules, you've got state rules, you've got federal rules, and they're getting worse every year. So we have to abide by a lot of things that folks don't understand, and sometimes we don't understand.
Right, we growl about it, but you know, why is that? That's stupid. Why do we? But you know, we have to abide by it and keep everybody happy.
Right. And so we've got the carnival comes in. They usually come in and set up Saturday and Sunday, and then their
Right.
first night is Monday.
I think sometimes they open up on Sunday.
Oh, do they? Okay, but they stay till the following Sunday afternoon
Right.
for rides. And if you call the festival headquarters, which is 304-472-9036, you can find out what the family night is, and you can find out the times. We'll try to get that in the paper. We do our best, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. So there's a lot of folks, and we don't mind if somebody calls us and asks questions. Just be patient with us if we don't have the answer. Webpage. Tell them about that.
We have really been working for the past 5 or 6 years. We've had some problems with the web page not being updated and just this and that. Well, we have a couple of very competent people this year working on the web page. There's a bunch of things in there that needed to be deleted 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they are taking care of it. But we're trying to get it up into the 21st century.
And I think if you click on to the CVB or Chamber of Commerce, you'll find an icon that you can click on to Strawberry Festival. A lot of us are networking now with the website. So if you can't get it into one, you might get it in one of the others. And again, I think Laura Meadows is working with that. And she has a lot of information about the festival, too, at the Chamber office and at the CVB office. We've got one of our board members works in the Chamber, and Laura works in the CVB. So they are knowledgeable of what's going on with festivals. So you can call them, not just for little piddly things, but if you really need some information, I'm sure they will direct you in the right place.
Because we have a calendar of events, anything that you might think that you would need any information on, it's on our webpage.
Right. Application forms.
Absolutely.
If some of you are out there and you want to put something in the parades, the Junior Royalty Parade, the Fireman's Parade, usually you deal with the fire department for that. But the Grand Feature Parade, if you go on the website, and that's www.wv West Virginia, WV Strawberry Festival, that's the way it is. It's www.wvstrawberryfestival.com, and that will get you into the website, and you can get an application for any of those parades. For Strawberry Idol that we're bringing back on Thursday and Friday night, the finals are on Saturday night. What else would they need applications for?
Vendors. I'm pretty well full on vendors. Now, one thing that I want to urge, the Strawberry Festival, our charter was 1932, 34?
36.
36. It was to promote to businesses and help Upshur County. So we try to strive with our charter. And we urge businesses. We're bringing people to town, and we urge businesses. We're bringing them to town. It's your job to get the money out of our patrons' pockets into yours. So that's what it was all started for in 1936, and we really strive to make that happen now. And there's so many vendors. If you have yes, I charge for vendor spots. A vendor spot down at Vendor Alley is a $700 for the week. But if you have a business, let's, for instance, Susie's Hometown Bakery, and they sell strawberry cupcakes. If they sell strawberry cupcakes 51 weeks a year, then by all means, set them out on the street. Sell your strawberries short.
So they could put a table out in front of their store.
Absolutely. We urge this. Try to make some extra money. That's what this was.
Well, I know several years ago, there were some of the businesses said, we don't have anybody to come in. I said, do you have any strawberry items? All you need is a strawberry item in your window, and somebody will come in, and they might buy something else that you have. So that's an important thing. If you are in business in town, try to find a few things that are strawberry items that you can put in your windows or out where people can see, and they'll come in and shop.
Right, and that is considered an extension of your business. Now, we can't block the whole sidewalk and make everybody stop.
Right.
But if it's discreet, there'll not be a word said to you.
Now, I do have people who call me and say, I want to do a special, say they want to sell water or they want to sell something special during the festival. Well, I want to sell it in front of so-and-so's house. That's where I want to do it. they need to get permission from Mr.
Absolutely.
So-and-so.
Right.
And then they also need to have a permit from the festival, and
Right.
tell them why.
You know, the permit from the festival, we do, everything that we do has to be inspected. You know, our health inspection, we have to buy a permit for that. It has to be inspected. Yes, you're selling water, it's a bottled water, and so, but nevertheless, when you sell that, you are selling for the West Virginia Strawberry Festival. Even though you're selling for John Doe, you're still selling for the Strawberry Festival. If somebody gets sick on something you sell, they're not going to say they got it from John Doe, they got it from the West Virginia Strawberry Festival. So our liability insurance basically mandates that everything that we do, we have to charge. And when we fill out our yearly report, everything, every event, every vendor, everything is listed. So we do pay our liability insurance on what we had the previous year.
And it's a lot of stuff.
Yes, it is. So, you know, it's not that we don't want John Doe to make an extra buck or so. But if something would happen, we have to cover our backsides as well.
Right. So you're working with the vendors.
Yes.
You're working with the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what else are you doing? We're going to have a celebration. We're having
Oh,
Party Gras.
absolutely.
Party Gras.
This is kind of funny. There was a group that I heard at fairs and festivals, for those that do not understand what goes on, we go in January and all these different performers come and showcase. We see different vendors, we see different carnivals. It's just a weekend of information that's done by the West Virginia Fairs and Festivals, and we learn all different things on insurances and just, you know, everything.
How to put on a festival or a fair.
Festival. And this all comes out of our pocket. You know, it doesn't come out of the Strawberry Festival. This is what we do as to give back to the community.
To network also with other fairs and festivals.
Right.
There's a lot of knowledge that can be gained from each other.
Well, you know, with that, a few years ago, I picked a band up that I just truly loved. And I was not in charge of the street parties. And they are great, let's do it. And it ended up for 2 years, I got shot down. So this year I said, I've got the vendors running like a well-oiled machine. I'm going to take over the street parties so I can have the group that I want. Well, so happens that they're booked up there in South Florida, and it is impossible for us to have them our way. So, you know, here I'm able to put on the street parties and still don't get what I took the job
But you got
for.
some good things.
I do.
Can you give us, I don't know which night these groups, but just give them some names.
It's not exactly concrete which nights and everything, but since the group that I had wanted did not pan out, we have some talent in West Virginia. We have some talent in Upshur County, Lewis County. And a few years ago, there was a boy at fairs and festivals that showcased, did an excellent job. And at that time, I believe he was 16 years old. And I think the Strawberry Festival had him here when he was 14.
Oh, my.
Just a very talented boy. He does have some ties with Nashville now. So he is moving up. You know, yes, we were able to afford him now. Probably in 5 years, we wouldn't be able to.
We've done that before, caught them as they're going up the ladder.
So his name is Brandon Stover. He's from Lewis County. Very talented young individual, and he is coming to play. And then Mr. T.
It's Big T.
Big T. And he is, I assume it's a Rock Cave area. The number I get is a 924 number. He has signed, and he has Nashville contracts.
He's a good singer. I've heard him.
A few years ago, he played on the courthouse steps as courthouse entertainment and did an excellent job, had a big crowd. So we try to honor the people that help us, you know. So he wanted to play this year, and he has a lot of things that he wants to do on his own. So we're very excited about that.
Now, I'm going to jump in here. We're talking about bringing them in. We know that the vendors are going to be down on Spring Street
Right.
where the old Foodland lot used to be. Isn't there a stage down there like
Yes.
there was last year?
We've moved the main stage down there, and basically what we tried to do is to get the traffic to go to the vendors.
There were thousands of them down there last
So-
year for the stage.
You know, yeah, we could sell vendor spots, but if they don't make a profit, they won't be back next year. So we've got to make the patrons happy, the vendors happy,
The
entertainment happy. So, you know, sometimes you just feel like taking your head and beating it against the wall, but in the long run, when it all comes out without a glitch, you're quite happy.
I always said if one person comes up to me and said I had a good time, it was worth it. And I had a lot of people say that last year. They really liked the new setup for the Friday and Saturday night, which I call party grawl. You call street parties. I don't know what it's called, but it's a fun night. Both nights free. You can come out free. You don't have to pay a cent to come down and visit with your friends and listen not only to these groups, but you have some dancers coming and
Right.
sort of a cultural type thing.
We hope. We have a individual from Philadelphia. He came in a few years ago with the Mummers, right?
Oh, Lee Winters.
Lee Winters.
He's phenomenal.
And he's just the most exuberant individual I've ever met. He just is always stepping about 10 feet off the ground, and he just looks on the internet, looks at groups, and does all this. Well, I don't know exactly what all I'm going to have on the street parties.
You'll be surprised.
I'll be surprised. But I have kept on Saturday night the block from Spring Street to the city building open just for the people that came in on the parades that want to do a little showcase, a little performance. So don't know exactly what it is. It's not going to be in a brochure. It's not going to be.
One of them I've seen a picture, and they're in tiger costumes, and they're going to move, folks, so you'll want to see them. I think Capitol Brass might be down there.
Right.
And they play a lot of jazz, and they're good. They were popular last year.
But it worked out very well last year. I gave him the same opportunity, and there were a lot of people in that block.
Right.
There was some concern with some of the businesses down there that I had shot them down with making any money from the Strawberry Festival, which was not my intent.
But it turned
But
out
I
that
sent
they were
enough
very
people
busy.
down that
Yeah.
way. You know, I try to look at the whole picture instead of just
Well, there are a lot of things, like I said, decisions that the festival makes that are not always popular, but sometimes we don't have a choice. And there are a lot of reasons that we have to do things that it's hard to explain to somebody why this was here.
Well,
and this
sometimes
one
we
wasn't.
don't understand.
That's true. That's true. But you gotta realize something too. None of us are paid, and we don't mind. Because we do it because we love our community. We want to give back to the community, and we love to see people come in and have a good time. So we have a board of 21 people. Most of the time it's 21. We lose folks here or there.
Right.
We have about 5 that come in as associate members that help, and then we got hundreds of volunteers. If you're interested in volunteering with something, if you want to work in the gift shop, if you'd like to help with the lineup of the parade, if you'd like to hand out things, whatever, if you're interested in giving back to your community and you'd like to help with Strawberry Festival, you can give Vicki Kelly's our president. She would like to talk with you. Deborah Hupp is vice president. We have, and see, our secretary is Tammy Rigger. Treasurer is Teresa Key. And then any of the board members, Rob would talk with you. I would talk with you. I can always use help somewhere, and you can always use help
absolutely.
somewhere. So it's a team effort, and it takes many, many people to make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. You have to have a plan A, a plan B, and then a plan C and D if the others don't
absolutely.
work.
But yeah, you know, there is no secret handshake to get into this organization.
No.
I've been on the board 9-10 years, and I don't know of anybody that's been turned away if they wanted to come and help. You know, if you're interested in becoming a board member, you know, we'll talk to you. We're, right now we are really in need of new board members, new ideas, new ways to, let's make it different. Well, let's have some help trying.
Well, you like to have new things, but you also don't want
Right.
to lose the tradition.
We have an awful lot of good
folks,
things.
do you know it's less than 3 years till we'll be having a 75th anniversary? Can you believe the festival's going on that long?
It's hard to believe.
And so there's a lot of exciting things happening. We try to bring things in that the whole family can be involved with and have fun with. And I'm going back 1 minute to, you were talking about the vendors and concessionaires. There are a lot of organizations in our community who are help organizations who do things to help people in need. And they do fundraisers during the festival, and you encourage that.
Absolutely.
And what is the fee usually
The
for a
fee
nonprofit?
for a nonprofit is $50. And, I am very, very limited on space. If you send me an application and the application is for your permitting, if you send an application and have a place to set up, we welcome that.
And that's the most important thing. If you are an help agency and you want to set something up for a fundraiser, if you can find a location along the parade route that is given permission from that owner to set up there. Now, we don't really like for folks to sit along the sidewalk because that's where we like
It's
for folks.
congestion.
We like folks to be able to watch the parades.
Right.
But there's a lot of places that you can set up. There are businesses downtown that allow you to put something in front of their store as long as people can get in and out.
Back whenever I was a child, our 4-H camp through our 4-H club was paid for by sodas and water and things that we sold. And, I remember back then we carried a little red wagon with the sodas on the back. Well, that has had to be cut out because what was happening, you have as many people as we bring to town running over feet, over women and children with sandals on, and it was not very, so we had to cut the wagons out. Now we do have some traveling up and down the streets, but everything that they carry has to be on their person. They can have backpacks or whatever. They cannot carry a wagon or a cart or anything like that.
Okay. I want to tell you that the brochure is out. You can pick it up in some of the local stores very soon. You can get it at the chamber office. There are a few changes because it was put out early. I'm not sure about the diaper derby. Some of that stuff instead of Jawbone might be at the courthouse.
I believe it is.
So you might want to check on that. And the concert and jazz competition for our high school bands, that's going to happen around 4:30 or 5 o'clock Friday evening instead of morning because of the West testing. A lot of the schools will not allow their band groups to travel till after 3 o'clock. So we've made that change. And I believe there's going to be work done on Wesleyan's Field. So the field exhibition is now going to be a really, really good show. But it's a lot of these groups that are going to be involved in some other things, some bands, some dancers, all kinds of things, and that's going to be at the Virginia Law Arts Center,
Right.
Same as the concert and jazz. The concert jazz Friday evening. The what was the field exhibition has been moved inside to the Virginia Law and Arts Center for Saturday night. So those are two changes that I'm aware of, and I'm sure there might be some others, but those are a couple of the major changes that you would find different from the brochure. We're working on the program, which will be out hopefully the week that we're having all the big horse and carriage and Wild West show type thing. So what else is it that we, in our remaining minutes, we're just about finished for our time. We've talked a lot. And told you a lot, but there might be some things out there that you're still having questions about. We'll be having several other strawberry patches throughout the weeks leading up to the festival. If you have questions and you want some particular thing talked about as far as the festival, if you will call me, Carol Long, 472-2191, I'll see if I can find out information about that and bring it to you. And anything else that you can think of?
Well, we're having meetings in April. We start having meetings once a week. And our meetings are all open to the public.
Right, if you have
Of
concerns.
course, we have some limited spacing, but come on in if you want to come and help. Find out what's going on. Find out more about the organization. We welcome any visitor.
Right. Well, I appreciate you coming in this evening. I know that you had lots of things you had to do, but I appreciate you coming on the first show.
Yes, ma'am.
And I really appreciate Tenerton Auto for sponsoring our strawberry patches. They're doing all of them. And like I said, it's through the businesses that we can bring you special things. I know TV3 is going to be doing some things for the festival, and we always appreciate their cooperation. So we just hope you join us next week for the Strawberry Patch. And thank you, Tenerton Auto. Their phone number is 304-472-2174. And thank you, folks out there, for supporting the Strawberry Festival. We have a membership drive. You can even be a member of the festival. Melody
Absolutely.
Stemple is working with that. So there's a lot of ways you can be involved. And we thank you for watching this evening. We'll see you next week at the Strawberry Patch.